guys, welcome back to my garage. Been getting a lot of messages about my exact setups that I threw for the last Hobie tournament on Norman, and I'm going to run those through with you. So if you're interested in to see what my two combos, I used a 1-2 punch on them on Norman. First off, I used a 1/4 ounce tungsten round ball jig. And this guy here is from Picasso. Now, and it has these nice little weed guards. They're 2 titanium ones, and if you look real close, I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but right on those, they're actually covered with something like a silicone or something, so the fish don't get pricked when they come up and bite it. And it helps ensure that you get a little bit longer time to set the hook on them, so they're not so aware of what's going on when they come up and attack these things. And I was able to throw this around docks, around structure. I was using this around the main lake points too, and I would throw it up to the most shallowest part, and they call them shoals down there. I'd throw it up to the most shallowest part and then reel it back real slow and let it roll off the edge. So the rod I use with the 1/4 ounce tungsten from Picasso is a St. Croix Legend Tournament. Best rods in Earth on my planet, in my opinion, made in the USA. Great rods for the money. These are my workhorse rods. I use a lot of these, but the rod itself is a 610. It's a medium action, extra fast tip on it, and I was using this to throw up to the shoals, on top of the shoals, and then I would slow roll it off the edges, and it was getting bit, and the fish were coming up, and they were ambushing right on the edges, and they were pushing the bait fish up into the shallows on the shoals, and then they were like circling them and doing them. And this is what I really got a lot of my good fish on early in the morning. It's a sweet little setup. If you haven't checked out Picasso's any of the Picasso stuff is awesome, but I really love what they're doing with some of their small stuff. And this is a smallie killer right here. And you can get the hooks in different lengths too, which is nice for this. There's a lot of options with it, so go check them out. Picasso Lures, guys will be happy with their stuff. So that was the 1 punch, man. That was what got them set up. And then after I got them set up, I switched over to my tried and true. And this is the exact bait. This is the exact setup on both of these that I threw during the tournament. I have not changed anything on these. So this is a Texas rig, big TRD, light wire, 3.0 hook. And as you can see, every bit of paint is scraped off that tungsten. That tungsten started out as a black tungsten or a green pumpkin tungsten. I can't remember which one it was. And all the paint got beat off of it because I was dragging this through gravel spots and dragging it and then letting it sit and hang out. And it's my typical setup. A Texas rig, big TRD and a light wire hook will actually float up off the bottom, and if you let it sit long enough, it will actually separate from the weight a little bit. And you will get a little bit of like a Carolina action. And a lot of times that's what it took. I was having to do 4 casts to the same spot using this technique, and it was like on the 4th cast I'd get a hit. If I didn't cast it 4 times, they had to seat it a few times to get used to it. You get a Mustang light wire hook, and I get the grip pins. That's what that little nub is right there. Killer setup. It's a money maker for me. This is what I've thrown quite a bit of. And for me, I was using the St. Croix Legend X killer rod. Sensitivity's unreal on this rod, and it allowed me to get in the sweet zone because there was pea-sized gravel on one point that I was hitting, and then it turned into like fist-sized gravel, and you had to tell the difference, and you needed to slow down when you got to the fist-sized gravel. And I was getting tons of hits, dead sticking it kind of, pausing it, not moving it. And especially later in the day, that's really, the bite got tougher. And another point, it was tires. So you had to feel when you were pulling over these tires, there were some rocks around them, but they weren't hanging out on the rocks, they were hanging out by these stupid tires that were submerged. So you had to feel this kind of soft, edgy feel for the tires. And man, St. Croix nailed it with the Legend X, man. I mean, it really pulled it through. You can't be happy enough. And this is a medium heavy fast tip on it, so I was able to set the hook on them. I had plenty of backbone to pull those out. 20-inch spot fights really hard, and this rod was able to overpower them dramatically, easily. This rod was able to overpower them easily.